I said I would come back and give you an update as soon as we know more about the case of the mysterious deaths of 19-year-old twins Kadir and Nazir Lewis that happened here in Georgia. Well, I'm back, but guess what? There's no fucking update because it doesn't seem like anybody even is asking any questions. I'm sorry, you can tell by the tone of my voice that I'm really pissed off about this. So we are talking about 19-year-old twins, Kadir and Nazir Lewis, who were found by hikers on, well, the 911 call was placed on March 8th at 11:05 a.m. to Towns County 911. The two were found on a hiking trail in Bell Mountain in Hiawassee, Georgia, which is about 2 hours north of their Lawrenceville home. Now, they were found on March 8th. They were supposed to be on a flight out of town, out of Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport. They were supposed to leave the day before at 7 a.m. to go visit a friend in Boston. There are three things about this that really piss me off, and they should piss you off too. And we should be screaming for people to do their jobs. So the first one is the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, GBI. Arrive on the scene, do a preliminary investigation. They find two young black men who have died of apparent pew-pew wounds. And so their first original statement was, well, this could, we're still investigating, but we probably think this could be a schmurder schmooicide. Wrap it up with a nice tight bow and call it a day. That was on March 8th. It is now March 20th, and we have not had a single press conference. We haven't had any new releases. We haven't heard anything else out of the GBI except for we've completed the autopsies and the investigation is still ongoing. That's it. That pisses me off. But what pisses me off more is the fucking journalists who are supposed to be covering this that aren't. It's like every single news outlet is just copying and pasting each other's headlines and just running with it. It's the same paragraph on every single one of these things. No one's asking any new questions. No one's got any new scoops. There isn't anybody who's trying to solve anything. I'm going to talk about the firefighter here in a second because that's the third thing that pisses me off. But this is all it is in the news. If you Google this case, this is all you see is the same repetitive bullshit, same two paragraphs over and over. Because once again, our media has fucking failed us. Here's the case in point. This is the third thing that pisses me off. So Scott Curlin, 42, is a volunteer firefighter. So if you saw the headlines, it says firefighter arrested for distributing photos of crime scene. If you saw that headline, it would probably make you think, oh wow, so was he like one of the first responders? Was he like literally in his fireman's uniform, got his cell phone out and he's taking pictures as he's trying to rescue people from a scene? Yeah, that's bad. But it turns out this guy, he's a volunteer firefighter. There's no mention at all. Was he called to the case? Like, was he there as a first responder? Was he also hiking that day? Nobody's even asking the question. It's just firefighter distributed pictures. Apparently this guy, Scott, he's been arrested. He took pictures of the scene and then shared them with somebody. And they ended up in the hands of a couple of high school students at the local high school. So that was why he got arrested. They said that he's impeding the investigation. Yeah, I'll bet he is. Because I got to tell you, if I was one of those hikers or I was anybody that was there that day, I'd take fucking pictures too. Because I know how quickly things can get swept up under the rug or evidence can be planted. I know that that's the way my brain works. This guy could be one of two things. One, he could have been a good guy who's like, I'm just trying to capture photographic evidence in case somebody tries to sweep this under the rug or somebody tries to tamper with evidence. I have pictures of the original crime scene, which is what I would have done. That's exactly what I've done if I'm one of those hikers or whatever. And maybe I just have really little faith in the police, but that's probably what I would have done, was captured my own photos and then held on to them just in case I was needed someday. Or this guy could be some bad, terrible, racist punk who took pictures and was like, look at these two black kids, ha, ha, ha. Like, you don't know. I don't know. And nobody knows because fucking journalists won't do their jobs. So maybe this is a message for the press corps of the United States, especially those here in Georgia. There's a lot of questions. One of the questions, okay, just so you know, it's being reported that the twins, it says they missed their flight. Well, does that mean they went to the airport and they were too late? Did they try to check in and were turned away? Did they not arrive at the airport at all? What do you mean when they missed their flight? Did they not even drive to the airport, or did they drive to the airport? Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson Airport is the busiest airport in the fucking world. And the minute you get within a mile of the place, you're on camera everywhere. So did they go there? Did they park there? Did they get out? Did they try to check in? Did they decide to leave? Were they sitting at the gate and being like, nah, fuck this. Let's don't go to Boston. Let's go hiking instead. And they turn and leave the airport? Why is nobody asking those questions? Why are there no videos of them at the airport? Did they not go to the airport? Did they leave their house in Lawrenceville and drive north instead of south? Nobody's asking those questions. The family was told their tickets were found in their wallets. I get it. We probably meant boarding passes. But again, no journalist says to the mom, do you mean boarding passes? Because we don't issue tickets anymore. Did they print their boarding passes at home? That seems strange for a 19-year-old to do. When they didn't arrive in Boston, did the friend start calling? Like, if we found these kids' cell phones, would they have 50 messages from the friend being like, dude, I'm at the airport. Where are you? I'm sitting here. Where are you? Did you miss your flight? Did the friend not know the parents? Would the friends not call the parents? Did the friend call the parents and alert the parents? They never arrived. Did the parents call the police and report their kids missing? None of this is asked. None of this is covered. It has been 12 days since these young men were found dead. And the police aren't telling us anything, and the news reporters sure as shit are telling us anything. In fact, I give Champion Clickbait Award to this piece of garbage headline. This is what the Huffington Post put out 2 days ago. If you saw this, you'd think, oh, it's solved. They arrested somebody. No, this is the volunteer firefighter who took pictures. But this fucking piece of shit journalist posts this. This is embarrassing. This person should have their press credentials taken away because this is a fucking joke. We need to continue asking questions. The press should be calling the GBI every single day and saying, when are you going to give an update? When are you going to give a press conference? We want to know what happened to these two young men. Full court pressure on the authorities in Georgia to investigate this crime and tell us what the hell happened to these two young men, because this is a fucking joke. 12 days later. And it's like, we don't know. We suspect. We don't know. What a joke.